Hey, what's up guys, it's Travis Flips. Welcome to my PokeLab, and today I want to share with you guys how to buy Pokemon cards on eBay. So this is a continuation of my eBay series, so if you haven't seen the previous video on how to sell Pokemon cards on eBay, do check it out. Alright, so when I first started out, I had no idea how buying from eBay works. There's just so many questions I had that needed answers before I felt confident to buy from eBay. Now, as a Pokemon card collector, why should you even bother buying from eBay? Precisely because you're a collector. The eBay marketplace lets you find virtually any card you're looking for. Vintage, modern, raw, graded, $5 to $50,000 cards. It is by far the biggest marketplace to buy and sell Pokemon cards. And it doesn't matter if you're just collecting for fun or trying to invest in some graded slabs. The amount of options that can be found on eBay makes this an indispensable marketplace for any collector. Especially if you're new to collecting Pokemon cards, it can be hard to find certain vintage cards, and that's where eBay comes into play. Also take note guys, I'm taking the perspective of an international buyer. Most of the Pokemon card listings are actually from the US, so if you're based in the US, it's easier for you. But if you're an international buyer like me, I hope this quick guide provides some clarification. Lastly, this is more of a beginner's guide, so if there's anything I overlooked, feel free to drop them in the comment section below. Alright, so stick along as we cover the ins and outs of how to make a successful purchase on eBay. Let's go! Step 1. Have your card in mind. Alright, so the first step is obviously to have the card you want in mind. So for the purpose of this video, we're gonna use this example of a Charizard Holo from XY Evolutions PSA 9. So the information that you need to know first, if you don't already do, is the value of this card. So there's always 2 if not 3 layers of check for me: throw and tote, eBay last sold, and if necessary, PSA SMR value. Okay, so throw and tote gives you the rough price guide of this particular card. So in this case, you can see it's about $120. But of course, this is referring to the raw value of the card. In our case, we are talking about a graded slab, so it's going to be more expensive. So in these cases, it may be more accurate to refer to eBay last sold. So we head over to eBay, we type in the name and details of the card, and then we filter by sold item. So if you see my previous video, I've done this lots of times. Even if you are selling your cards, you want to refer to eBay last sold. So once we have the results, this gives us a quick overview of the last sold prices for this particular card. And because eBay doesn't do 100% filtering, like you see for example, like this card isn't even what I'm looking for, and you see outliers like this $7.99, that's crazy. So in fact, for this card, there's the holographic version and the reverse foil. Alright, so we are not looking at the reverse foil, so you need to be sharp in this aspect and look out for the actual cards that you are looking for. So in our example, let's scroll back up. So we see for example PSA 9 Charizard Holo 370. Alright, reverse holo we're gonna skip. This is what we're looking for, 247. Scroll down all the way. So you need to know the exact card you're looking for, 256, 166. So actually it's pretty sad, disheartening for me, because it seems like the prices have dropped recently. Okay, so 227, 228, 232. Alright, so this gives me a rough estimate of what my offer price should be, right? Then of course, because this is a PSA graded card, so you want to head over to the last layer of check, which is the PSA website itself. So this we actually go into the auction prices realized. Okay, I will include the link in the description below, so be sure to bookmark it for easy reference. So you can see for this particular card, Charizard Holo 2016 XY Evolutions, we are looking at Gen Min 9. Okay, so the most recent price was 247, right? Average price 238, and the SMR price is actually 300. So the SMR price actually refers to the sports market report price. This is basically the value that PSA determines the worth of this particular card. So after doing all these checks, we are equipped with the knowledge of a ballpark value of this card. So in this case, I'll put the market price at say $250. Okay, and then we move on to the next step, which is to determine your buy price. Step 2, determine your buy price. Now this differs from person to person, but for me, I'd like to get the card for as cheap as possible. If you have the budget and you're willing to pay at market price or even above market price, that's your prerogative by all means. But personally, I like to set my buy price at below market value as much as I can, so that in the event when the card value falls, like you see recently for this particular card, at least there's some room for me to recover my losses if I ever want to let go of this card. Now, as the buyer, I have the leverage of choice, which means that if my offer is not accepted by one seller, there's always another seller who's willing to negotiate. And this depends on the rarity of the card as well, but it's largely true most of the time. So I will now set my buy price, or what I like to call a walkaway price, meaning that if the price is anywhere higher than the price I'm willing to pay for, I walk away. I just walk away. So let's say, for example, $220. So far so good? Okay, let's move on. Step 3, search tools. Alright, so now we are at the actual step of searching for cards, and there's two ways you can filter results, either using ending soonest or newly listed. So let's begin with ending soonest. Okay, so ending soonest auctions is good because it lets you secure the card faster, and you can possibly also snag last minute wins. But of course, I'll advise, because there's so many auctions going on, right? Don't put all your eggs in one basket. So in this example of our Charizard from XY Evolutions, so let's take a look. So we have our first one. This is ending in about 13 hours. PSA 9, 0 bids, $300. So it's way overpriced already. The price has dropped significantly. So you see nobody is bidding on this. Okay, so we'll scroll down. Okay, so take for example this one, ending in about 19 hours. Current highest bid is 185, 46 bids. So there's huge competition going on. There's a shipping estimate also, which we'll talk about later on. Okay, so this will be something I'll bookmark, so I'll add to the bookmark. Alright, so I'll scroll down. So we want to find about 3 to 5 that are ending soonest. Okay, so all these are way overpriced. And take note, you want to be aware of the actual listings details as well, because something like that, this is not the PSA graded card, so this is out also. Okay, so we scroll down. There doesn't seem to be a lot of listings. So see, all these are way overpriced, so out. So it's fun doing shopping like that, right? Because there's so many options. So you see this one fulfills our criteria. We're gonna bookmark it, add to watch list. Okay, and we're gonna scroll down, continue finding. So 3. Okay, we have 4, and we have 5. And this ends in 4 days. Okay, so at this point we've added all the most recent ending auctions that fulfills our criteria to the watch list. So just for you guys who are new to eBay, this is where you access the watch list. Okay, it's in the top right hand corner. Okay, you just click it and it will just show you all the cards in your watch list. Okay, so you see, for example, the previous 5 cards that I added, I bookmarked. Okay, so it easily shows you with the number of hours, days or hours left. So the good thing about bookmarking is that it helps you to have a shot at other listings even if you don't win the most recent one. Okay, so for example, this most recent one, if I don't win, I still have 4 more others. If I don't win this, I still have a few more choices. Okay, now at this point I would not make a bid first. All right, we are just observing. The rule is always to go in if you are 100% confident. Now let's talk quickly about the other filter, which is by newly listed. So again, we're gonna search for our Charizard XY Evolutions, but this time the filter we're gonna change to newly listed. Now this filter tends to be overlooked, and if you are talking about auction, that's entirely true because there's still so many days to go before the auction ends, right? But for this filter, we are searching directly for fixed prices or best offer listings. So the strategy for this is slightly different. We are not trying to bid for auctions but to send offers. Usually these fixed prices listings, they want to sell quickly as well. Okay, they don't want to wait for 7 days for the auction to end. So you can potentially check for listings that meet your criteria. Okay, so let's see in real time what options we have. Okay, so I'm trying to find fixed prices. Alright, so this one looks pretty good, guys. Check this out. XY Evolutions PSA 9, 274. So this is actually pretty close and a pretty realistic price, to be honest with you. So you can either buy it at 274 right now, okay, if you feel that it's within your budget and it's a fair price. But for me, because I set my buy price at 220, right, and also it seems like the market price is around 250, which is the price that we determine. So I want to try to negotiate a bit. So in this case, what I can do is shoot an offer for 220 or 230. So remember, this is our walkaway price. So I'll just go into the listing, all right, and you see the listed price, just shoot an offer with your walkaway price. So you just click on offer and you just shoot your offer 220, 230. Just as the seller has the power to reject you, you as the buyer has the power to so-called lowball or a nicer term negotiate. Because once again, you have to understand guys, we have the leverage of choice. So even if this doesn't work out, we go to another option. But from my experience, right, if I'm really serious in getting this card, I know that maybe my offer may be just a little bit too low. So if this particular seller is willing to negotiate, say he counter offers 250 or 255, that will be within my range as well, and I may just take it because I know that this is a very, very good price I'm getting for this particular card. So what we are trying to do when we are offering low is to create the opportunity for negotiation, because it's too easy for the seller if he or she just gets away with this particular listed price that he or she wants. So we must always try to negotiate. Now the good thing is that sellers for newly listed listings are more likely to respond faster if they get a quick interest on their item. But at the end of the day, our rules apply. If you're not happy with the price, just walk away. Step 4, checking item or card details. So in our next step, we need to carefully check for the card details. So these are the main things to look out for. Firstly, the photos. So take our example right now. Okay, now we want to scan through everything. We want to take a look at the front, back, the angles, okay, the lighting and the condition as well. First and foremost is always check that it's not a fake card. Okay, there's so many scams running rampant all over eBay, so don't be a victim. Okay, so the first layer is always check that it's not a fake card. Now for our case of a PSA graded card, it's easy to verify the authenticity. All you have to do is to check the serial number, which has to be provided. If you see those listings that the photos they remove the serial number or they black out the serial number, right, those are very suspicious, and usually I don't want to deal with those. Okay, so in this example, I will actually check the serial number authenticity first. So what you do is you go to PSA website, check PSA number. Okay, then you go to verify certification verification. All right, so you go to this page. Then all you have to do is to key in the number. Okay, so 5677 4878 78. Click on verify. And boom, so this is positive, this is good. This tells us that this is 100% legit card graded by PSA. Okay, the certification number, the year, the type of cards. Okay, so we cannot escape from this. If it's a legit PSA graded card, the serial number has to show up, and it has to be documented. Okay, so whenever I see this, I know that, okay, confirm this is a legitimate card, I can buy safely. Now of course, this is just for PSA graded cards. For other grading companies, there are other ways to verify, but for raw cards, right, that's where you need to pick up the skill of being able to tell whether it's a real or fake card. If you're interested, I've actually created a video on this, so make sure you check that out. Secondly, you also want to make sure that the condition is as described. So this is more for raw cards, right? Because if the raw cards, the listing says that it's a PSA 9 or 10 potential, or they say that it's a mint card, you really need to open your eyes and need to examine the actual card itself. Now even for slabs like this, sometimes you see why people don't buy the particular slab, because sometimes these slabs might not have been protected carefully and they might have scratches, they might have bumps and things like that. Okay, so you always want to check carefully. So you see in this particular case, the seller actually wraps this in this is a custom made plastic. So this tells me that the item has been cared for, and I don't see any particular scratches or bumps or damages on the slab itself. Okay, so it looks good. Now let us take a look at an example of a raw card. Okay, so let's say for example this card. Okay, so this is a very good example. All right, so firstly, let's take a look at the images. First layer of check, always make sure that it's a genuine card, not a counterfeit. Okay, so we can tell from the back, okay, that the colors are fake cards. The color tone is all the same. Okay, so this is pretty obvious, it's a legit card. and the font and the hollows look legit as well. But there's one thing that is very bad, which is the condition. So over here it says mint condition, right? But you take a look at the back, it's so obvious there's so many whitening, there's so much whitening. So this is a blatant lie. So this is a no-go. And he or she put starting bid $200. Hell no, I won't even pay $50 for this card. Okay, and there's no other description about item protection, packaging information, things like that. So I will refrain from buying from this seller, okay, because this is a very bad condition card. Okay, so this is out. So you as the seller, you definitely have to spend some time to make sure that you are getting your money's worth. Okay, end of the day, it is also an acquired skill to be able to pick out the best cards. So just keep on practicing and you get better at it. Okay, so next we want to check the shipping fee. All right, so for my US audiences, shipping won't be that much of an issue. Most times it is free shipping or much cheaper shipping compared to international. So for international, you have to first check if they offer international tracked shipping, and second, how much does shipping cost, as you have to add this cost into your buy price, right? So ultimately, if you, after adding the shipping cost, does the grand total make sense, or is it just too pricey after adding in the shipping cost? So in this case, right, you see that it may not ship to Singapore. So this is a kind of a 50-50. If I see this, I can contact the seller and ask whether he's open to shipping to Singapore and what's the fees. Okay, he or she can either say yes, and then he generates the fee for me and tell me how much additional I have to pay, or they can just say no, I just don't feel comfortable shipping to Singapore or overseas. Then that's fine. We'll just look for another option. Okay, so let me see if I can find another example for you. So take this. Okay, the price is not good at all, but then these are the options. These are the ones that has the shipping option for international buyers. So this one uses international priority shipping to Singapore. Okay, so I have to add additional $25.35 into the buy price. Okay, so assuming if this was a better buy price for me, I'll have to add this price in for the grand total. Now the last piece of information when I'm checking the listing is the seller reputation. Okay, so if it's something like this, 350 star ratings, and it's 100% positive feedback, we are safe. Okay, we are very happy with this. Okay, I won't worry about this. I'll buy very confidently with this seller. Now if the seller has bad ratings, instant out. I don't even want to deal with this seller. Okay, because there's just so many people who's able to maintain 5-star ratings, 100% positive feedback, that there shouldn't be any reason why you don't try your best, and there shouldn't be any reason why a good reputable seller has bad ratings in the first place. Okay, so if I see sellers with bad ratings, it's a huge warning sign, a big red flag, and I'll just find other sellers. Now the last type is if it's a new seller with 0 ratings. This is also 50-50. You can still risk buying from this seller, which was what I did for my previous purchase. You can check with the seller first, all right, and see whether the seller replies to you. Okay, if the seller doesn't reply, then it becomes suspicious. Then you might not want to buy from this seller. But if the seller replies and is willing to work with you and is able to answer all the queries you have, because you have a lot of queries and concerns like, hey, you're a new seller, you don't have any ratings, why is it? Okay, so how do you get these cards, etc. Because we've all been there, we've all started from scratch, we all started from 0 ratings. So this may be a legitimate brand new seller trying to get their kickstart in eBay. Okay, so if it's a new seller and you contact them asking about this card and they seem honest, they get back to you with legitimate answers, you know that they want to get off to a good start as well, then those are the ones that I will feel more confident to buy from them, rather than sellers with 0 ratings and they just totally ignore me, still give me bad customer service. Those are also out. Step 4.5, a bit more on shipping details. Alright, so for international buyers, you want to make sure that the seller does track shipping. Okay, you never want to risk a high ticket item being lost in transition. The best is if they use USPS priority or some sort of priority shipping like this, okay? Also, you want to check for packaging info. How do you ensure that the item will be protected securely? Okay, so you see something like this. Over here it says shipped with USPS priority mail, small flat rate box, and will be packaged to prevent damage during shipping. So at least something like this I feel assured. And then this item will be insured for what the winning bidder or buyer pays for the item, signature required on delivery. All right, and sometimes, like I mentioned, if you see, because for international buyers, like I mentioned, we are in the minority, right? So if you see that, let me find an example. If you see shipping not specified, okay, and you see may not ship to your particular country, just ask, okay, just ask, contact the seller, ask whether they are open to this. I would say for all the times I've asked, majority of the times they actually were able to ship to my country, just that they want to make sure that you're serious about buying. Everybody would rather just ship within their own country, it's more convenient. But if there's an option where I can sell the card overseas and it's difficult to let go locally, then people may entertain that option as well. So that's the key really with eBay. You just have to chat to the seller and negotiate and make sure that both of you can come to terms. Step 5, how to win the auction. Alright, so I know that this part may be where most of you are interested in. Okay, so now that you're super confident that you won the card, it's time to bid for the card. So let's go back to the example of Charizard XY Evolutions, and we're gonna sort by ending soonest. Alright, okay, so remember your watch list items as well. Okay, so you want to always take note of these. Now, the first rule to take note is that try not to bid on multiple items. The reason why is that you may end up burning yourself if you unintentionally win multiple listings or several listings. So always try to focus on the auction that's ending soonest first. And the way I do it, and this may differ for others, but I will only bid during the last 1 or 2 hours before the auction ends. So if there's still a long time, say 12 hours, right? You just observe and bookmark the page, okay, and add to watch list, and just make sure that say 10 hours later you are ready on your computer, ready to make the bid. And also, I know this may sound a bit ridiculous, but it also helps if you set a timer alarm just in case, especially, okay, hear me out guys, because if there's really this particular card that you cannot get locally and you really desperately want it and you love it so much, you trust me, you don't want to miss it. This may be your only chance that comes by for a long time. So even if say it's the ending time is say 1 a.m. at night or 7 a.m. in the morning, just for me, I will just wake up or stay awake for this timing just to make sure I win the auction. Alright, that's a bit extreme, but if you really want a card, you sometimes have to sacrifice because of the different time zones. So what I'll do is, particularly if it's a listing that I'm super interested in and I really want to win, I will definitely set an alarm for it to remind myself. Now, here's the thing, alright, there's no point to bid early. Don't try to prematurely raise the price and stiffen the competition. What we want to do as a strategy is to be like a sniper. We snipe at the last minute. So approximately say 1 hour or 45 minutes before the auction ends, I will stand by my computer. So I'll open the tabs, I'll open eBay, I'll open the actual listing. Okay, say for example, yeah, like this one is the one we wanted, right? So for example, this one, I really want it. Okay, I will have the tab open, I'll let the timer run, okay, in real time. So here is actually the best way to do it, alright? The current listing, say for example, there's only 1 hour left, okay, for example, okay? The current highest bid is 185, okay? And also this is good because the shipping is included, $28. And then the seller is a reputable seller as well. So this checks everything. I love it, alright? So what I'll do is I'll click on place bid. Now, this is the way to do it. Once you click on place bid, you'll see this pop up. Do not, I repeat, do not bid the increments. Meaning do not bid this 188, 190, 198. Do not bid the increments. Why? Because eBay has a system whereby it will help you to automatically bid in increments of $5 for you until your max bid hits, if it hits at all. So the point is that you, instead of using the incremental bids, you want to use this below the all. This is what we call the max bid. Okay, so the max bid is good for 2 reasons. Alright, reason number 1, it lets the system automatically trigger your bid so there is no human delay. All right, when you try to outbid and you do it manually, you may be slow to click on it, or your internet is slow or something, and this will cause you to lose. And secondly, it gives you a sense of peace. Why I say that? Because you know that if you were beaten by a price that was higher than your walkaway price. Remember, your walkaway price is the highest that you're willing to bid already. You're willing to walk away. And if you were beaten by that price, you know at least it was not because you did not bid your highest. You know that you already tried your best, just that someone was willing to pay higher than you for this card. I hope this makes sense. So let's put it into example right here. So I will put my my walkaway price, okay, as 220, right? So if I key in 220, I click on bid, all right, it will not just jump to 220 because this is the max bid. All right, so it will go. It depends on the increments. To my knowledge, it's $5, but I see here there's actually like $2 increment, so I don't know how it works. All right, so it will go to the next increment. So say if I click on bid here, which I won't because I'm not getting this card, but if we were to, it will jump to 188, I believe. Okay, then you will see your name, for example, my name Travis To. Okay, it will say that, okay, I'm currently the highest. But if of course there's other buyers who also have entered their max bids, then their max bids will override your max bid as well, and the system will keep on outbidding until someone wins. Okay, so that's why we try not to enter so quickly. The best is to enter if you can, assuming you don't have internet issue. I will enter, say, my max bid at 5 minutes before the time left. Okay, so assuming that it's not 185, say 5 minutes before is $200 or 210. Okay, at that point I may enter 220, or if I really want to cut 230, 240, I know that's my max bid. I know that once I enter bid, I will be the next highest. But if there's other people who also had their max bid, the system will just automatically fight. Okay, our bids will just fight with each other until the winner comes out. Okay, I know this is a bit messy to understand, but this is just how it works. So that's why you see why auctions always spike in the last few moments, is because all the max bids are automatically triggered all at once. Okay, so this is the game for eBay auctions. You have to be a sniper and you have to snipe last minute. And there are people who don't know this and they just place the incrementals, okay, manually, and they will lose for sure. So there's only one way to go about it. Bid your max bid, okay? Know that that is your best walkaway price. If you win, congratulations. If you lose, move on to the next one. All right, so next, assuming that you win, congratulations, you are the owner of this card. Next, you have to make payment. Step 7, make payment. So now it is advisable to make payment ASAP, because the faster you pay, the faster the seller will ship out. If it's a high ticket item and you want to make sure that the seller acknowledges your win, you can simply drop a message letting him or her know that you paid, and kindly ask them to check if they received the payment and ask them when the item will be shipped. So I'm gonna show you guys an actual example of another card which is in my purchase history, which is this Pikachu, which has not arrived yet. It has been shipped. So this is a very useful case because for this card I definitely bought below market value. Okay, you can see that I bought it at, this is a BGS 9.5 with 10 on centering, okay, and I bought it at 490. You don't get that price for sure if you go and check eBay last sold. Okay, it's around 600, 700. Okay, but there was one thing about this seller. He's a brand new seller. Okay, there literally 0 ratings, okay, 0 reviews. So I was quite suspicious of that. But what I did, let me see whether I can find a conversation. Okay, so the first thing after I won was that I required him to send me an invoice. So I said I wrote over here, hi there, it doesn't let me pay because you need to include shipping costs. So can you do that? Please select the shipping option with tracking and send me the total. Thanks. Okay, only when he sent me the total with the shipping cost, then I can make payments. Okay, so you guys may be interested in this as well. So this is for a new dealing with a new seller. So I wrote this: I'm interested to make a deal with you on this card. Can I check if you ship to Singapore with track shipping? What's the lowest price you can give me if I want to buy immediately? How will the card be protected and packaged safely? I'm asking because it seems you're a new seller with no ratings yet, so I just want to make sure. So you see that you don't have to be like embarrassed or feel bad. This is just business, all right? So you just have to ask and make sure you are 100% comfortable, all right? So you see that the seller actually replies to me, okay, he will bubble wrap, and I feel at least assured, okay, that he will do all these, okay? So there's another message, I can't seem to find it. But anyways, this was later on after I won, okay? So I asked, can I check when this will be shipped? Because there was kind of like a 12 hours delay after I made payment, so I was kind of worried. So he finally got back to me saying that it will be shipped within a couple hours. He had a busy day, all right? So I said, all good, thanks for the update. And then he proceeded to ask me the first name, last name for the custom. So this is good. This means that he this is legit, right? This means that he needs all this information to get the item out. And then once again, sorry to bother again, but I need to know city, province, everything. Awesome. And the last best thing is that let me just go back, is that he provided the shipping number. All right, so let me just go back over here. So this is the best. So he says shipped, tracking is this. All right, so I can now use the tracking number to track the order, to track the shipment. Okay, so this to me, I feel assured. Okay, this is a responsible seller. Okay, so this is good. Once again, for US, I believe it will be easier, but for international, okay, you just want to double check on all these. Once again, double check the shipping price, shipping option, delivery time. Also ask for tracking number. Kindly also ask them to package the item nicely, and that you will leave them a very nice review if you receive the item on time and in good condition. That's it. All right. Okay, so now some important side notes. Firstly, if you lose, all right, for fixed price or best offer listings, just keep sending your offers until someone responds and is willing to negotiate with you. Or for auctions, just keep bidding or bookmarking items in your watch list until you win a bid. Eventually you will, alright? Because there's so many options out there. End of the day, as long as you stick to your rules, be a sniper, set your walkaway price, opportunities will eventually come. Now, this is a very, very important aspect. Payment must be via PayPal. I repeat, it must be via PayPal. Don't take the risk, alright? We've heard so many horror stories of people getting damaged items or fake cards, goods not as described. With PayPal, you are assured that with their money back guarantee policy, the seller has to refund you in any case at all that you did not receive an item as described. Okay, no arguments there. Many cases I've seen that people were able to get their money fully refunded back, especially for expensive items when they use PayPal for payment. I'm not sure about other methods, okay, but don't risk it. Play safe and always use PayPal. And lastly, of course, only buy from reputable seller. Like if you're like me, you're willing to take a risk with new sellers, make sure to check with the seller and see if they reply. All right, if they don't, absolutely don't risk it. All right, and also ask for track shipping with insurance 100% if it's a high ticket item. All right guys, so I hope you found this quick guide useful. Of course, I'm just speaking from my own experience, so if you have any other tips and tricks, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Also guys, let me know what other content relating to buying and selling Pokemon cards do you wish to see. And always be sure to like, share and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!